Let's talk a little bit about why the split step is so important in tennis. And our specific example today is going to be in a doubles point. And I'm going to be showing you guys an example of what not to do when you play tennis with your feet. And I'm going to be showing you guys several examples of how to move your feet correctly as well, so that you can be most prepared for whatever shot might come to you. Our first example today is going to be what not to do. And this point here was given to us by John, who is a member of the forums at essentialtennis.com. And I'm just going to play through this point at full speed first and let you guys watch it. And then I'm going to replay it in slow motion. We're really going to break down exactly what's going on with a specific person's feet. So watch the point first. Okay, so we see a good return by the person closest to us. And John, who happens to be at the net, makes kind of a stab volley. This is not an easy volley. He gets his racket on it and ends up hitting a drop volley back over on the other side of the net. I don't know if this was intentional or not. It's very possible it wasn't intentional. I'm going to have to ask him. Didn't actually ask him that, but makes this a good stab volley. Just gets his racket on the ball and ends up hitting a winning shot. Now let's replay this. And the person we're going to focus on is the person in the red shirts on the left side of your guys' screen. So here comes the serve from John's partner. And the returner, again, really attacks on this return. Really hits it nice and solid. Probably should have gone cross-court with it, but gives John a chance to get his racket on it. And John just barely gets his racket on it. And to be honest with you, watching the replay here, I think this was intentional by John. John does a good job pulling his racket away from the ball, which is moving very quickly, and ends up hitting a drop volley. Now, what I want you guys to watch, I'm going to back this up again, and we're going to watch the player in red who should have been responsible for covering this shot. So starting from here, this is where the return is about to be hit. Now watch the player in red, and currently he's flat on his feet, literally flat. I also want you guys to look at John in the purple shirts at the net. He is making a split step right now, right as his opponent makes contact. This is what you guys should be doing. He's landing right now on the balls of his feet. He's already moving towards the ball. And we see the player in red here is taking one step, puts his foot down, and right now, as John is making contact with his drop volley, that player in red is literally flat-footed. Both his feet are flat on the court. And this is just an unathletic position. He's not ready to move towards wherever the ball might be going. And this is why he loses the points. If he did split step, had he put himself on the balls of his feet and he was ready to move, whether it be up or back or right or left or whatever, he very likely would have gotten to this shot. And who knows, maybe he still would have lost the point anyway, but at least he would have had a chance for he and his partner to win the point. So John is making contact with this volley right now, and his opponent in the red is flat-footed. Now the ball is off John's racket, and we see the player in the red starting to make a step. Now we see his knees flex, and now he's starting to move. The ball's already on its way back down to the court. There we go. And now this right now is where we see the person in red putting himself in an athletic position. At this point right here, he's already identified where the ball is going, and at this point, now he's ready to move. And so he starts making his move towards the ball, takes two steps, and realizes he's not going to get there in time. And so it's over. Now, this is so important, guys. I'm going to replay this one more time, and we're going to watch the feet of both John and the player in red. So here we see, and we're going to back this up just before John makes contact. And so he's made his split step, makes his move towards the ball, takes the racket away from the ball, hits the drop shot. Player in red is just now moving his feet. There we go. Now he's starting to go, and this is a late reaction. And had he split stepped as John hit his drop volley, I can pretty much guarantee you that he would have at least gotten a racket on the ball. Now, I have a couple of other examples here of the right way to do this, guys. And this is a video of myself and my good friend Jason, and he and I are in a cooperative rally here. I'm at the net, and I'm going to be hitting some volleys back to Jason. and I'm aiming for that yellow cone on Jason's side of the court. So what I'm going to do here is go through frame by frame for a couple, and I'm already in a pretty wide stance here, but as Jason gets ready to hit his forehand ground stroke, I go up, I make a split step, and now this position right here is where you guys want to be. My knees are bent, my weight is leaning forwards a little bit, and I'm on the balls of my feet ready to move towards the ball. Now as I hit, look at Jason up on the top side of the court. He's making a split step. He just landed on the balls of his feet. Knees are bent, and then he starts to move. And he and I are going back and forth, repeating this. This is not something we're thinking about. It's just good habit. And high-level players do this on every single shot of every single point. So we see the ball bounce. I make my split step right here. I'm a little bit late on that one, but I still get myself on the balls of my feet. I get myself prepared to move. Let's watch a couple of these in full speed as Jason and I hit back and forth, and just watch one of us and watch our feet. And we're making a split step on every single shot to prepare ourselves to move for the ball.